up, guys? This is Long Island Josh here with this guy, Red.
This guy.
This guy. All right, and we're going to talk about
Holy
NXT
shit,
Toronto.
I'm laggy as hell.
Happened yesterday for us.
I hear a train.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyways, yeah, we talking about the review of NXT Takeover Toronto that happened on Saturday, which I didn't see live, like on TV.
no, you watched it after the fact. I started it, and the pay-per-view was already going on. Then I just decided to start over from the beginning. But before we start this, I guess if you don't have the WWE Network, is this show worth purchasing? The WWE Network just to see.
From what I saw, yeah. I mean,
Okay, I
I mean,
agree.
any. To be fair, any NXT event is good to see. Even if you're just gonna
I
watch
think
like the weekly show.
I think definitely if anyone's on the fence about ordering network to see this, I think it's worth it. I don't know if you thought it just for Survivor Series, but it's definitely worth just this show alone. So I just want to start with that because you might get negative, but overall I think it's a very positive show.
I mean, if you have a friend that you just like has it and you're just like, hey, let me do it.
Yeah, it's great. It's
Holy
great,
shit.
but still staying positive.
No, it's cool. I mean, everybody needs to watch. I mean, I know you wanted to watch because of mainly Bobby Roode.
Yeah, I was not disappointed. So let's start. The show actually started off with Bobby Roode versus Ty Dillinger. Both guys are Canadian, so it was fun. The crowd was very loud for this one. What do you think about Bobby Roode's theme song?
I really like Bobby Roode's theme song. Uh, it's catchy. Everybody goes along with it, but I think you know everybody loves it and everything. But you could tell the crowd loves it. But I think with Ty Dillinger being the hometown or not like home country, boy and everything of Canada, because he's from Niagara Falls, Canada. But I think Ty Dillinger was more over, and the reason why I say that is because even tonight on Survivor Series, every time someone went out to the floor, uh, you know how they would count for the person out and everything. Everybody
Mhm.
was just instead of going like with the ref with one, two, or three, they were basically saying 10, 10, 10, 10 on each respective number. And I think Ty Dillinger is getting to that factor of like being pretty popular with the crowd. I mean, he's developed himself pretty good. And to have a match with Bobby Roode, I think is pretty good.
No, I think it was a very good match. The crowd was into it for both guys. It started with Bobby Roode coming out to his glorious theme, and he had a live choir singing it, which was really fun. And just like last time at NXT, was it Brooklyn? Was NXT Brooklyn the last one?
Yeah, NXT Brooklyn 2.
That one, the crowd sung his live, so they did it again. That was really fun. Uh, but yeah, Ty Dillinger, also Canadian, was massively over, and I really like that whole everyone chanting 10, 10, especially when like anything would happen when you hit punches or if there was a count. I could see that being really bad if that took over.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
yeah, I thought the whole he was over, and like anybody else that's in any matches in NXT, the crowd is always gonna be awesome. Every event that they like have, every takeover that they have, crowd is always awesome, and I like that factor of
I
like the
think that
crowd being.
if you're paying to see NXT live, you're a certain type of wrestling fan, one that wants to have fun. You probably know what's going on, so you're gonna chant loud, and I think that's a selling point for anyone to go see NXT live, is being a part of that crowd. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's fun just to go, and it's fun to even watch on TV because the crowd gets into it. But I think we're digressing here a bit.
Maybe. All right, so I don't want to get too much into this match because there's a lot of show to talk about. So Bobby Roode won this match. I was happy because I like Bobby. And afterwards, Ty Dillinger, he apologizing to the crowd. They were chanting for him, and he said, "I'm sorry." But I would like to see this guy brought up to Raw or SmackDown. Would you?
I would like to see him be just brought up anytime
Which
because
brand, if
he's.
you had to pick?
If I had to pick, I would pick like SmackDown brand. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown guy throughout this whole.
I bleed blue, so I understand.
Yeah, I'm a SmackDown fan. Throughout this whole brand split, I don't know. I just like the competition on that one. Granted, there's some on Raw that are pretty good, but I'm more of a SmackDown guy on this one. So, who would you see?
So
Who would you see him with?
I'd rather see anyone go to SmackDown because I think SmackDown is booked better because I think Vince McMahon doesn't pay as much attention to it. So anyone I'd rather see on SmackDown than Raw. But
Right.
okay, so the next match is the winner of the Dusty Classic Tag Team, right? Tournament.
Yeah.
So I haven't been watching week to week NXT. You have. How was the tournament? How do you feel about the finals? I mean, ultimately came down to the Authors of Pain took on TM61, but
Yeah.
how was the lead up to it?
It was okay. I mean, it was just like any type of tournament. It's kind of like watching like a New Japan Pro Wrestling like tournament. It's like it goes on for weeks until you figure out who's gonna be the top two teams and everything. And I think leading up to it, the final four was actually pretty good to watch. But I don't know, the finals to this one is a little bit different than last year's because last year was Finn Balor and Samoa Joe against Baron Corbin and it's Baron Corbin and I think it was Rhino if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't recall, but
yeah, I felt like last year's finals tournament to the whole thing was a lot better, in my opinion.
okay. But this one ended with tournament ended with TM61 taking on the Authors of Pain, and I don't understand why was there a Shark Tank with the
Because
manager James.
Paul Ellering was
Was it
when he
Paul?
was
I'm sorry, I thought it was James.
yeah he was also in a Shark Tank in a match before years back like 20 30 years probably about 30 years ago. And so TM61 is the one that suggested, why if you're gonna, I don't, we don't need no interference or anything, so let's put you in a Shark Tank. And William Regal agreed and said, yeah, let's do it. So that's the reason why. But I don't know, it just really didn't. Like I get the concept of like putting him in there and everything, but it just really didn't do too much because he had a chain on him and he dropped the chain from. But yeah, the chain attempt was failed, but still, I don't know. I didn't really see the point of it in a way. But I guess it's just like let's just put him in there. Adds to the match.
All right. So do you want to get into the match, or you just want to skip to the ending?
Oh no. That's pretty much how I felt about that one. Just it was okay.
Okay.
I thought it was just okay.
So the Authors of Pain won that match, and I think Gold Dust was out there to present the trophy to them, I believe.
Yes.
So that's just continuing the Dusty name because Cody and them are not on the best of terms right now.
Well, yeah, Cody. I actually watched the Cody Rhodes versus Kurt Angle match, and it was actually really good. But then I digress again.
That's free on YouTube right now. If anyone wants to look at that.
Yeah. Look up WCPW Kurt Angle versus Cody Rhodes.
So I haven't seen it, but maybe I'll give it a try because I've only heard good things.
He's actually pretty good because they play off of his Stardust name because you know how it's Stardust. Now he's being billed as the star that left them in the dust, which I thought was like, oh okay, I get what you're trying to do there. But anyways, I digress again. I'm digressing everywhere.
It's alright. So the next match is another tag match, right? It was the Arrival took on
This one
Tommaso
was good.
Ciampa and
I
Johnny
thought this one was
Gargano.
really good.
This has been like the most talked about match of the night. Unfortunately, I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. Um,
Really?
yeah, like I'll go back. I literally will because I was busy while this was actually going on. But the internet went crazy over this, and my friends are all talking about this is the match of the night, and I love
You're just sitting there
Tommaso
like, shut
Ciampa
the
and Johnny
fuck up.
Gargano. So you'll have to talk about this one. It was a best out of three.
Yeah, best
Now
out of three.
this
And
was for the NXT Tag Team Championship,
yes. And the Revival
and
got, if we want to get it right into it, the Revival got the first fall, which was actually pretty good. They got the first fall on Johnny Gargano. And then the second fall was, I think Ciampa got the or the first fall for their team. But the whole
right, got the
match, the
second
whole
fall
match,
overall.
yeah. But it was all down to like the third and final, like who's gonna win it now. And the whole thing with it was actually really good. It was really good build up towards the end of the match, only because of like how because the whole pressure was on Gargano because he tapped out in the first match back in Brooklyn.
At Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, so he was in a position to where he was supposed to tap out and everything, and he was in that move for a while, and finally, he made it through ropes and everything, and the whole thing, it got to the point to where you didn't know what was gonna go on. The Revival did did Tommaso Ciampa's and Gargano's move, like their duo move.
Took their move, right?
Yeah, and then on top of that, uh, DIY took the Revival's co-op move with each other as well, and it just got down to who was gonna win it, who wants it more, and it got to the point to where they were both put in submissions, and they were trying to like keep in it, but they couldn't. And DIY won at the end, but the whole match was just pure wrestling matches and everything, and it was good. I really liked it.
Both these teams are great technical tag team wrestlers. Uh, the Arrival have for a long time on NXT been a successful tag team, and they're great heels, and I really enjoy them for that reason. There's nothing likable about the guys. They cheat to win, but they're solid, tag team wrestlers. So you can't ever be like, well, they don't deserve the belts because they had them for a long time. And DIY, I like both the guys as singles, but they've been very charismatic tag team. They have a lot of history going back. They work well together, so this was a great match. Happy that DIY are the new tag champions. That opens the question: what happens to the Arrival?
Hmm. I mean, I think the Revival, like anything, just give them a rematch. If they lose again, they could be called up. They could be one, the tag team. Because you got other tag teams like, the
Do
Authors
you
of
want them
Pain,
to
and
stay on NXT, not just jump to the main roster?
I would like to see them stay on the NXT, but I don't want them to be lingering around like how Blake and Murphy were.
Mm-hmm.
Blake and Murphy are still on NXT, and they were the top tag team for a while on NXT, and then they stayed on too long. Alexa Bliss was with them, then she got called up, and then they kind of like broke up and are just kind of like shadowing around on NXT, and it's
But
just like I don't want that to happen to the Revival.
I do think the Revival are better technical wrestlers than Blake and Murphy, so they should get called up. Uh, I don't know. I guess they could technically take NXT, a whole month or so in the next few days where they get written off. But I like to see them probably go to Raw.
Yeah.
I think Raw for tag teams, the Arrival would be good. I could see them just fully make their way champion championship level. Then they should contend against whoever it is, probably New Day, because New Day has the record already or no?
Yes, New Day has the record. They've been tag team for like as long as Honky Tonk Man was the Intercontinental Champion. It feels that way.
So, oh, So I'd be fine with them taking the belts from New Day after they like work their way to it. I don't necessarily need them to just win it day one.
I agree with that.
Okay,
But
so the next match.
let me add on the last thing to that one. I would like to see them at least, if not Raw, then go to SmackDown because you got guys like who do you call it, Gallows and Anderson, who are still haven't, I feel like they haven't been used better than they should be, but I don't know. I think
No, I think the club, the Bullet Club, they should have been used a lot better. They could have been the ones that should have been built up to be Storm New Day because they were supposed to be real, but then they turned to comedy.
yeah,
But I
Doctor,
don't know.
Doctor.
I could see SmackDown. SmackDown will always use talent better than Raw.
I mean, they remind me, like I always say, they remind me of the Anderson brothers. Not too flashy, but they get the job done with their wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
So again, they're a good, solid team, but I think they'd be more useful on Raw because Raw needs good wrestlers
Right.
to help fill time. Their matches should be longer.
I mean, I agree with that. Only because 3 hours, 3 hours, man. Raw with their 3 hours.
Crazy. Okay, so the next match was Mickie James returning after several years off and going to TNA, and she took on Asuka. This is one of the main reasons I wanted to watch this show because I'm a huge Mickie James mark.
Yeah, I mean, she looked really, really good. I mean, I'm not just saying her appearance. I'm talking about her
When has
wrestling.
she not?
I mean,
You know,
she's basically like. I mean, she like what had a baby like a year or two ago. I mean, she's like
yeah,
practically a
little
milf.
Magnus Jr.
But anyways, we digress again. But what we were saying is that the wrestling was really good. I thought it was that nostalgia factor of like, her music hit and everything. Granted, I
Hmm.
wasn't really a big fan of her music, back in the day, but
I would have loved
still.
to heard her come out to hardcore country or TNA and I guess indie scene.
Yeah. But still, it's that whole like, how you say the nostalgia factor and everything. But it's not just the nostalgia factor. She came in and she did
Oh
really
no!
good at against Asuka.
I just messed up again. Yeah, Asuka, she had gone through all the NXT. I'm glad that they're at least creatively open to bringing in past people who can be a legitimate contender to Asuka. And I thought Asuka would win. She's that damn good, and I was hoping Nikki might. Because
But
I'm always a Nikki fan, so that's what brought me to find out who actually would win in this.
but also
And
like uh Asuka has, gone through everybody, but I feel like, she with Mickey James she kinda had a little trouble. Like you could
mm,
tell. And it's that experience factor. Mickey James has been around for over 10 years now. 10 years, somewhere around there. But the whole I like how the whole match was, the competition and everything of the whole thing. Um
but what I think Mickey James brings to the table, which would work really well for Asuka, is that Mickey James is a legitimate contender to any women's championship. She's got kicks that Asuka's also known for her kicks, but Mickey James has got that super kick and brings a lot of variations to the table, which is nice. So I was really hoping that that would happen.
yeah, but I think
Uh,
I think it helps with like keep the title on her until she's ready to, but keep the belt on her until she's ready to just like be called up until because they got other girls that are on the NXT roster, and I don't think a lot of them are ready, and so I
no,
think
I don't think they are. That's why I like that they would look to the outside because I think there's other women that should be shot at Asuka because she just can't lose apparently.
yeah, I mean she's gone
She's
through
female Goldberg, but
yeah
like legitimate.
yeah But it's one of those things. Just one of those things that just keep the title on her and just see what happens.
All right, so Asuka won that match, and you think this is it for Mickey James, or is she gonna stick around?
Nah,
Will
I
she
think they're
stick around
gonna.
NXT? Will she come be brought up to the main roster? If so, where do you think you think she'll show up?
I think Raw. She was a Raw girl during the one of the brand splits.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect just if I yeah I expect somebody to give her a contract and be like, hey, yeah, stick around because where's she gonna go? TNA?
You never know. Maybe Magnus will go back to TNA as well. Maybe, you think this opens the door for her?
Back out. Uh, I think it. I think it. I can see him coming to NXT. I mean, look at the success that Bobby Roode's having so far.
You know, I wouldn't be upset to see that. NXT needs new talent. A lot of people are being called up right now. We've been talking about basically anyone who won their match or tonight. We keep saying, when will they get called up? They
Yeah,
need new talent. Magnus is new talent.
yeah. Magnus is new
So
talent, and I think he did really good in TNA, but TNA's talent kind of diminished. And sorry for whoever is a TNA fan now, but the only entertaining thing that's coming out of TNA is Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero. That's my honest opinion
broken
about that.
brilliance. It truly is just broken brilliance.
I mean, if I had to say that, even Senor Benjamin has more talent than a lot of those people on TNA. And it's
I,
Senor Benjamin.
Daniel Benjamin's got a shirt and I want it, so I understand.
But yeah, I think I think anything, NXT has different people that you don't see, cuz look at Roderick Strong just coming out of nowhere with Austin Aries.
Well, I actually haven't seen any of NXT TV. I know he's debuted, but what do you think? How's he doing?
He did pretty good. They did pretty good for the what do you call it, the Dusty Rhodes Classic, but they got eliminated. But Roderick Strong, Ring of Honor, everybody was happy to see him in the NXT crowd and everything, and I feel like he could stick around NXT for a while as well.
Could you see Roderick Strong possibly being in the main event picture?
I could see him in the main event picture. I could see him. God damn it! I could see him in the main event picture. I could see Austin Aries, Bobby Roode. It's just that you got people that are in the main event picture right now, and soon I think when they get called up, all of a sudden you'll see these guys be in the main event picture more.
All right, because we're the next match we got to talk about is the main event. Shinsuke Nakamura
This one I did not.
taking on Samoa Joe.
I saw the Joe entrance. I saw the Shinsuke Nakamura entrance. It got to see. This is like I said. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it live because I was out on Saturday night, and when
Yeah,
I came back on the show page, when you go to watch it, it says 120 minutes or 2 hours if you want to be technical.
right.
Um, God damn it! But the show went over 2 hours. It went about 2 hours and 20 something minutes, and I don't know why they don't add on that whole thing uh, of how much time should be back on it. But we were watching it, and then all of a sudden that the bell rings, I think exactly at 2 hours, and then all of a sudden it just goes off, and I'm just like, really? And I thought it was something like, oh, maybe it's just a glitch or something. So I restarted the whole thing, did everything, and nope, still the same way. Even today, before Survivor Series, I wanted to see if it was something like that. Still the same thing. Right at 2 hours, bell rings, it goes off. So I didn't see any of this match at all.
That's very upsetting to hear.
Yeah,
You didn't even see any of the entrances.
I saw the entrances. It's like 2 hours is when the bell rings.
Mhm. Okay, so you can at least talk about the entrances. Joe, I'm waiting for a great Joe live dancing with family members doing Samoan dances.
Wait,
That's gotta happen.
you want to see that?
Well, it happened in TNA once, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
but
want to see Joe
that
do it
just
again.
ruins like his whole about to just eat somebody entrance.
Well, maybe he can be a face at the time.
Could be, but
But current Joe, you're right. Current Joe doesn't fit to it, so he doesn't get any nice, expensive
they ain't
entrances.
want none.
But Nakamura did. Shinsuke Nakamura for his entrance came out, and instead of one violinist like last time at NXT Brooklyn, he had a total of like seven.
But I mean, he had
Because
like
when
they were
he's
all over the place, but I don't know if they were there like to actually because
as he came down the ramp,
the guy that was actually at Brooklyn, he was playing the violin. I'm not sure if I think maybe a couple of them, but just the way they look, I don't think they all played the violin. They were all playing.
but
I
whether
don't.
they did or didn't, you're right that at Brooklyn it was one guy playing the song live, and this time it was the song going in the background with people live playing the violin. But as he came down the entrance, he would like it, okay. The first shot starts. He comes out of the entrance and he meets one violinist, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool, just like last time. Then he takes a few steps and there's another one, and that kept going as he went down the ramp. He would just meet more violinists, and then they would follow him until he got into the ring where there was four, one at each corner, who are also playing.
Yeah.
So it was at a grander scale than last time, which was really cool. I think the Brooklyn one was better though,
Yes.
more memorable.
Yes.
But this was definitely this is what makes NXT Takeover special. That you get these like nice, almost WrestleMania level entrances.
On each takeover.
Also being the world title match.
Yes.
So unfortunately, this I guess is where you stop being useful because you didn't see the match.
I'm not useful on this one. You're more useful than I am.
All right, well, hopefully. So the match starts off. These guys are both hitting each other with like knee strikes, and this is what's really good about this match is that Joe and Nakamura are very strong styles to how they wrestle. It's a lot of hard, impactful moves, and makes both these guys very dangerous. And that's why like there's a seriousness to this match that a lot of WWE doesn't have. So the NXT title means something. This match meant something, and the crowd was hyped, and that's why like I was hyped to actually see this opposed to Survivor Series. But
Right.
so these guys, they have their exchange. Nakamura takes over because of his like unorthodox style. If you ever seen him, you know what that means. It's the way he moves, he shakes, he strike him, and it doesn't affect anything. Then they brawled to the outside of the crowd, people going crazy because I don't think you really see that a lot in WB or NXT. You would see that a lot in TNA. Big difference is TNA was always go into the crowd, so like do plunder and stuff. But the guys go to the outside, they brawl outside, they come back into the ring where Joe takes control. Then eventually Nakamura takes control. The match continues in, 3 or 4 very strong moves, and then the guy would either reverse or just somehow find a way to take over. And just this is what both guys are, the main event guys. They're the best, at what they do, which is again why this title matters. Because here, these two guys are fighting to find out who is better. And whoever is better gets a championship. Saying so.
Right.
That's NXT. It's simple booking, and I think WWE misses that.
Do.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go through my notes. I have, Joe hits a Boston Crab on Nakamura, then turns into an STF, then he turns into a crossface. This is a lot of that strong style and pure wrestling where you can get a guy in a technical hold and then keep transitioning it, break down these guys both have to slowly be broken down. It's not one move just takes them out. You have to systematically take these guys out because that's how they're trying to take you out. It's a very systematic, fun, submission, hard style. So, match if you have not. Nakamura transitions a 2 count into Spinning stamp. The crowd goes crazy as they should. The ending is a Bumaye to Joe, but Joe kicks out. Then a second Bumaye is hit, no, is reversed into a Cochina clutch by Joe. The crowd. This was a pretty cool move. Cool part. The crowd starts singing Nakamura's theme to get behind him, so he will like hulk up. So that's pretty fun. You get that in NXT with the crowds. It's very chant based and a more intimate area than you get with a W pay per view level venue. So the crowd sings Nakamura's theme, but Joe hits three German variations on Nakamura. Then Joe kicks Nakamura low, so he hits him in the nuts.
Hmm.
Both are on the outside. He rolls Nakamura into the ring where he hits him with a muscle buster, and that's how Samoa Joe becomes the first ever two-time NXT champion. So very good match that came to a very kind of flat and sudden ending. And they even went to the crowd and you saw people shocked, like disappointed but wowed. I mean, how do you think people felt, or listening to this? What do you think the crowd felt like where that was the ending to their main?
No, it's one of those shock factors, or just like what just happened, because Nakamura just won the title at the last takeover. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not like something to where like the takeovers are every month, so you can't just be like, oh, he lost it like in a month. It's like no, takeover was like back in August, so he's had it for a while.
Yeah, these things are quarterly, which is nice. You build, solid structure. So now, someone who since you've been watching NXT week to week. How do you feel? This is the ending. The ending was a very hard fought battle on both sides, and Joe cheats. He kicks Nakamura in the nuts, hits him with his finisher, and wins.
I think it just like it's a cheap way to win, but it adds it adds another match for them. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a takeover around Royal Rumble time, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's like one of those things to where whoever wins, I think whoever loses, it's gonna be around that time where one of the two is gonna be called up. So why not have a best out of three? Uh, Samoa Joe said that he was gonna win no matter what, so he kind of promised on that one, and he
No,
wasn't lying. He wasn't lying.
I guess he wasn't. Man is true to his word.
It's
So
true to his word. I mean, he said he's gonna win no matter in no matter way how he's gonna win or whatever. But it's a cheap way. But then if you see how the current champions on Raw and SmackDown, AJ Styles did kick Dean Ambrose in the nuts to win the championship. Dean Ambrose
mm-hmm.
basically had his given to him, so or Kevin Owens had his handed to him. So it's one of those things to where it's like cheat to win. It's a classic heel turn. Not well, he's already heel, but it's a classic heel move.
It
And
is. So I can't blame them because I don't think NXT you see this that much. At least NXT doesn't have a long history. There's recently has been pretty solid booking wise, and this is a classic wrestling, but live crowd disappointing finish. It adds to the story because both these guys, people have been saying would possibly debut tonight at the Survivor Series,
yeah,
and so now that Nakamura doesn't have the title, do you think he might just jump to Raw or SmackDown, or do you think he's gonna finish this out with Joe in NXT? We'll have a third match. Where do you think the
mm,
story goes from here?
I think he would have a third match. I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura, they had a what do you call it, a what do you call it, the after, not an after show like, but just an after the show type thing, that they were trying to interview Shinsuke Nakamura, and he just didn't want. He was just disappointed with what happened. He didn't even say anything. He didn't want to talk to anybody. So I think this is not going to be something that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to just sit down and be like, "All right, I'm done with the title picture. Time to move on." It's like he wants to have the title back. He's gonna put in his rematch clause in and everything. And I really think that there's going to be a third battle. If they don't do it, if there's not a takeover around Royal Rumble area, they're not going to
Mhm.
wait to have this match all the way until takeover during WrestleMania weekend. They're probably going to have they're probably going to have the match on probably a regular episode of NXT. But I mean, why would they not? Why would they not want to do a takeover during Royal Rumble weekend?
I'm sure they will. Um, all right, so we reached the end of NXT. I think it was a good show. You think it was a good show?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good up until 2 hours came around and they said, you know what, we're not going to show you this match. It's like, oh, you guys are gonna
That's a,
Diamond Dallas, Diamond Dallas Page, Goldberg, me, Halloween Havoc, 1998. Not show me the main
well,
event. Okay, fine. Didn't want to
I
watch
guess
it
now you got to call
anyways.
your cable provider and you need your money back.
I want my 9.99 back.
You know what? Honestly, you should call them and see if you can get a discount on merch. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll
I'll do it.
uh,
I'll do it and
give
be
it a
like,
try.
how come I can't watch the rest? I can't watch the rest. What I should learn how to talk like Christopher Walken, and I could do that.
All right, so this was fun. We haven't done this since like NXT Brooklyn and SummerSlam. So
Yes.
this was fun. If you guys like this, last time a lot of you watched our other one. If you guys like this, leave a comment. If you have any questions you want to ask us, if you want to ask us any questions about wrestling, you can do that. Red, what is the email?
The Misfit Society Gaming at gmail.com.
Okay, so
There
if
we
you have
go.
any questions, send it to that. If we get any feedback, even one, I will watch NXT this week. Red and I will come back. We'll review that, and let's see what
Joshua.
NXT has next to offer.
Joshua will do a food challenge.
Oh, whoa. We'll get there. Okay,
We're building up to
but
that.
so all I want is just one piece of feedback, email, and we'll do that.
Yes, we will do that, and we'll see what happens with that whole thing. Food challenge, food challenge, food challenge.
All right, guys. See you later.